G'day. Welcome to us. Hello. Hope you're having a lovely day. It's Two Girls, One Pod. We're recording in separate states yet again. I'm Angie.
Oh, Angie and Yvie together. Angie. I like it.
I like it too. I'm Yvie. I'm on Wurundjeri land.
And I'm Angie and I'm on Turrbal.
And together we're
high five. And together we're Angie. No, what was it?
Angie.
We've never put our names together before, actually. That was a first and it was an accident.
I know,
So that was pretty pretty clever.
Good.
I liked it.
Yeah, accidental cleverness.
I would
thank you for
subscribe.
coming.
I've just hit my microphone away whilst I was dancing to your song. But welcome back, everybody. We've got a really exciting episode for you. We've got a number of things to talk about. But before we dive into the topics, what about a little life update? Is there anything you'd like to share with the audience and myself, Yvie Jones?
I do
with
actually.
Capitals?
I've joined an app. I've joined a dating app. Just one.
Shut the front door.
I think I may have joined a second one, but I'm not sure.
As in, like, you don't think you've subscribed properly?
Yeah, I don't think I've done it properly.
Logged in or whatever the kids use?
I mean, I can look right now and see if I'm on there.
What's
the first
the other
one
app?
I've joined is Bumble, because that's where women make the first move.
Oh, stunning. I've
Stunning.
never used that one before, so you'll have to tell me all about it.
Oh, no, I am on. I'm on. I'm also on
What?
Hinge.
Yes.
'Cause-
I was going to say I want you to do Hinge.
Why?
I feel like Hinge is really good because you get to, well, you can also set your profile for all people, not just the fellas, which is great if
Now,
you're
can I
interested
ask
in that.
something about Hinge?
Sure.
Have you been on it?
Yeah, I was on it last year.
Do you swipe on Hinge?
Oh, I don't remember that much.
I can't, because I
was
keep
only on it
swiping
for maybe 3
and
weeks.
nothing happens. That's why I'm thinking maybe this is just like this is
no,
just
don't
an
you
app.
push
but
like
I
a
haven't-
heart or a cross? There's a heart or a cross from memory, or am I thinking
There
of
is a
different?
heart. There is a heart on their photo and a cross.
So maybe you swipe up if you're not interested and you heart it if you like it.
I'm swiping up and it just shows the rest of him.
Right, I can't remember. Sorry, I can't help you there.
Okay.
bit
Well,
of a
they've
sad
just
one.
told me that me and this guy Drew are most compatible. So
Ooh,
I'm
I
gonna,
like it when they show you
I'm
that.
going to try to match with him right now. There is an X and there is a heart. They're not near each other, but I'm just going to do the heart. And
Do
it
the
says 0 looks like a flower, and then it says send like or cancel or add a
Yeah,
comment.
so you have to chat to be able to start. Like, it's not like Tinder where you swipe and then if you connect, it's like I think you have to like something of theirs and then you can start talking and then it'll be like you can connect. So why don't you like it and see what it comes up with?
I've written hi Drew, and I'm going to send like. And it's come up with a new guy called Darren, and he's walking down a road and it's his back. No, I don't want your back, Darren.
We'll swipe it and see if there's more photos.
There is. Oh, he's cute.
And you know, on Hinge, there is also a part where you can listen to their little voice notes.
Shall I make a voice note?
I mean, like, generally people like laugh at them and other people take them really seriously, but you can give it a go if you want.
Okay. Well, I like on Hinge because I've been able to put that I'm pansexual. On Bumble, I haven't, and also I've been able to put in that I would date non-binary people, but in Bumble it doesn't really have that option.
That's very straighty 180 of them, isn't it?
It is
Like,
a bit
boring.
Maybe I just haven't found it. Like, don't at me, Bimble.
Yeah, it's probably
but
Bimble.
we can start one called Bimble.
Bimble and Hinge together.
Yeah.
Bimble.
Bimble. So I don't know. I haven't done anything like this since like RSVP used to be a thing. It used to be all emails. So
Or Harmony.
never did Harmony because that was you had to pay straight up, and I don't do that because I like my love for free.
Yeah, my love don't cost a thing, as J-Lo once sang many years ago. Actually,
I say, don't be fooled by these rocks that I've got. I'm still Yvie from Gogglebox.
From
Still the same.
Don't be fooled by the dogs that I got. I'm still Yvie from the box.
From the box.
It's so good.
How about don't be fooled by the dogs that I got? I've still got a box.
I've still got a big box. I used to have a little, now I have a lot. Oh my God, have that as your voice message for when people want to know about you. Okay, don't be fooled by the rocks that I've got. I'm still Yvie with a big box. Sorry, big dogs. Box. Anyway, you get it. You get it, people. That's great. Very good. How about every week or so, depending on the action you get on these said apps, you give us a little update because it's very exciting news that you're back on these dating apps after 14,000 years. Oh my God.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you along for the ride. What I've started with, this is my actual plan. I'm going to always say hi, and when they respond, I'm going to then say, would you like a coffee? Straight up. I would really like to meet people straight away.
Don't you want to know their bants a little bit first?
No, I want their bants in person. Don't care about texting or anything like that. Don't like it at all. Yeah, I'm a gambler. I'm a gambler, and there's a song, and I don't know it. Yeah.
You're one hell of a gamble. All right, I'm proud of you. That's very good news.
I'll keep you
see how
abreast
you go
of the situation. And talking of love and real love and finding love and all the love that we could possibly muster, and may the world have a million blooms and all the proclivities and everything that goes with that. Let's talk MAFS. It started this week. Woohoo! I could not be more excited.
There goes the next 3 months of our lives.
Gone.
We'll see you in February. Oh, it's February. February, March, April, May. See you in May, everybody.
Yeah, see you.
God, that's a long commitment. That's longer than most of the relationships that come
I think it goes
on.
Longer. Yeah.
I thought it was 3 months.
I think MAFS goes for 85 years. Like, while other things are happening, like, they'll do on Channel 10, they're doing Survivor, and then they'll probably go into I'm a Celeb or something like that. And MAFS will still be going. MAFS just goes because remember then there's the new couples that come in, and then there's more couples that come in, and then there's recouplings.
Yeah. And what I always find goes for forever is so you think like you've got through 2 weddings, and then the next episode starts and you got another 2 weddings, and the next episode starts and but then you go back to the other people's honeymoons, and then you got another. I don't like the weddings. For me, I'm not interested in the weddings. They bore the shite out of me. I don't mind the after this. What do you call an after party?
The honeymoons?
No, when they're all chatting after
the dinner
wedding.
Party. Oh, the reception.
The reception. I don't mind that part of the wedding if I have to like a part of the wedding, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, because I've spoken to a lot of people, and you know what? Half and half. People hate the weddings, and other people have gone, no, I like the weddings. Me personally, for me, I like the weddings because I love the awkwardness of how nervous they are, and how...
so nervous.
How it just, you can't hide, and yet some of them really do well with the hiding of the, I love, you can see this positivity, negativity come out in people, like an immediate bow or an immediate, oh, he's lovely, oh, she's beautiful, and it's like, oh my God, you don't know what you're in store for.
Yeah,
like
the initial judgments.
We've only had 3 eps, so we've got another one tonight. And that'll be our last night of weddings. And then we go into continual honeymoons, but then it's dinner party. And that's the good stuff.
Ooh, yeah, the good stuff's the dinner parties. I do love the dinner parties. The honeymoons are good because you really get to realise who's a piece of shit pretty much as soon as the honeymoon starts, but some of them have redemption stories, or some of them just get worse and worse. So straight up, let's we could talk about this for hours, but let's just go through what we've already seen. So straight up, we've seen Harrison and Bronte, aka Hazza, aka so far For me, gaslighter, denier, doing everything to get his ass further. Bronte,
Absolutely.
the jury's still, it's not in, right? She seems like she's strong and great and all the things, but then she believed as soon as her friend called up and was like, she only made all that stuff up about Harrison and Abby from Bachelor because she was jealous that she wasn't in your wedding party.
Getting
And then he
airtime.
goes, yeah, see? You see? I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Girls
and
are
then they go from
crazy.
there. You've got to remember
That-
also that she would be really freaked out that the wedding is going to be, like the marriage is going to be over and she's going to lose her
And then
airtime.
she's going to be out. Well, that's it. A lot of people stay in, right, because they want that sweet, sweet airtime because the longer you stay in,
the
the
whiter
more
your
followers
teeth
you
are going to
get.
be. Oh, sorry.
The
yes.
whiter your teeth
yes,
are
the
gonna
whiter
be.
your teeth.
and the more deals you're going to get with Pretty Little Thing.
Yeah, exactly. I did see a tweet that I liked that said, oh my God, isn't this weird how we're watching all the people on MAFS and to think in 3 months' time they're all going to not have their original teeth.
Yeah, they're all going to not have their
Spot
original
on.
teeth. They're all going to have some
Spot
kind of
on.
deal with a magazine to share their trauma story. It's like
Yeah,
it's a tale as
exactly.
old as time. Every year, people, you see the trauma and the torment you receive from this show, and there's a handful of you that receive lots and lots of good things. It's one hell of a gamble for you to think you're going to be in the maybe 3 people that's going to get, you know, a good career out of MAFS. That generally only lasts for probably a year or 2. Unless you're Martha. She's done really well since then. She's
Very
like a
well.
social
and she's
media
still with
queen.
her partner.
Yeah, and they've got a baby on the way. Congrats
they do.
to those
Congrats.
two, Michael and Martha.
So dramatic, I think, are the ones to really follow for all of this stuff because
God,
Megan
yeah.
Pistetto is like she's so good at finding the dirt and she's got a real
she's next
focus.
level.
Yeah, I love her. I just think she's amazing at what she does. She
She's
even
great
had to
at
put
what
a
she
disclaimer
does.
out this year and say, I'm
I
just
saw that.
reporting on
She's
what's
like, if you want your side across, you let me know it and I'll
Yeah,
report
let
it.
me
If you
know
don't,
it.
then I'm just going to go off what I hear from other people, which is actually, you know, that's her
It's what
industry that
journalists
she's
are
in.
supposed to do. They're supposed to do that.
I think
you know.
I think people think that she's, you know, a journalist and she's heartless, but I think it goes to show her putting that out there saying, I will share your story. She's actually got a really big, soft heart, as ruthless and brutal
Yes.
as she can be, because deep down, I think it does eat her up, but it is her job. So if you want to
Yeah.
get your point across, go to her, and she generally
to
holds
her.
space for it. Unless
She
she doesn't
will.
like you. Unless she doesn't like you. And then I think you're in a little bit of trouble. I've never had a problem with her. So love you, Megan. Always come to me first, girl. I'll let you know anything that's there.
I like her. I'm really grateful that she doesn't hold back and that she asks the
Yeah.
hard questions.
She
I
goes
love
to
it.
town.
Now, we're Harrison and Bronte, that's going to be a really interesting one. And I'm thinking there's going to be a recoupling for those two, or a cheating scandal with him.
He is the epitome of a gaslighter. The other
Yeah.
day, I posted this thing on my stories where it's like gaslighting versus respectful phrases. And so many people wrote to me after it being like, I'm so glad you shared this. I wish I saw this 6 months ago, because there's that many people out there that are gaslighters. If you want to know a perfect example of what a gaslighter is, you
Watch
can
this.
just watch Hazza, because he is the perfect person for it. It's like, instead of saying, you know, they'll say stuff like, I'm sorry you feel that way, instead of saying, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. That's not what happened, instead of saying, that's not how I thought it happened. You can't take a joke, instead of saying, I meant it as
that's
a
a
joke,
big
but
one.
it came across really wrong. So you'll see, the biggest one for men I often find, because it's happened to me most of my life, is you're overreacting.
Yes.
But the
Yes.
respectful way of saying it is, I now see that this is a very important issue for you, because men generally think as soon as women talk back to them, they're overreacting, and they're not. It's because they don't like what you're putting down. Harrison is going to be so hard and triggering for most of us to watch. So protect your peace when you're watching MAFS. I find you can get like really like triggered anger. I watch someone
Yeah.
like him and I'm like, yep, I've been there. Or I watch, what's his name? Jesse and Claire. At first, I was like,
Claire,
he's
that
a dick
poor girl.
dick. But then I was like, in the wedding when he was crying, I was like, you know what? I'm going to not judge him off his edit. I'm just going to give it some time, have some space. Then, oh my God, he is a real piece of work.
I have a feeling that marriage may end early. It's like, oh no, this is the time when I do kind of wish that they would just stay in it, because I really think he's great TV and great learning.
Great learning for
what
sure.
not to go out with. But like you just said, the Harrisons, watch this man and watch his behaviour. Watch it closely. Watch it while you're watching it with us and while you're watching it with Clementine Ford, who will break down his behaviour the way she broke down Andrew, the Texans from last season, and the season before that, Bryce. She will show you exactly what to look out for, what they're doing in this behaviour and what it means. So, a lot of people, there was a lot of complaints about the Bryce. ACMA had to go after Channel 9, ended up being not thrown out, but it ended up being found not to have breached anything. But a lot of people still say, oh, why do they keep putting these men on TV? Yeah, I get that, but I'm kind of glad these men are on TV, because we can only learn from them and see exactly what we need to avoid. If you're going after a man like Harrison, then you're kind of going to get what you deserve if you already know that he's a dick.
Well, I do find that a lot of women that they pick on these shows, if they are strong, they get an edit where it's kind of like, she's a bitch. And then they pick all these vulnerable girls. It's like, I've always been treated badly. And then they give these people these men 45,000 different chances. So the women at home watching are like, oh, maybe I should just keep giving my really mediocre douche canoe of a partner another chance.
Well, that's why, that's why it's so important to watch it with us and say, this is when you should have left. As you're watching it going, leave, and they don't. Don't use that as, oh, I shouldn't leave either. Go, oh, no, she should have left then, and I'm going to do it. Like, let it use you. But what about the wedding between Adam and Janelle?
Yeah, that's the one I really wanted to talk about, because I feel like a lot of people watching it will think that she's really annoying, asking the question of what he does for work and how much money he makes, because he flips it and he goes, I don't care how much money my woman makes, because the thing is, whatever your name is, what's his name?
Adam,
you've never really had to care about what your woman made, because women generally didn't have careers or jobs and weren't expected to. And he was like, I wouldn't mind if she just hung out with her friends and had hobbies.
You'd probably prefer it than a woman making more money than him.
And the thing is, it's the gender role has flipped in what society deems gender roles, where the men should make more and the woman should, make less and really not have a career. She's flipping it, and it would actually trigger and stress out a lot of people watching, I think, because they'll be like, yeah, why does it matter? He's not asking her. That's because we've never really cared until now. Now women are in this position where it's like, well, no, I want to know what you do, because I'm making a lot of money and I'm successful in my career, and I want to protect. I don't want to have a man baby that I have to look after.
No, that's right. And I think from the get-go with Adam, for me, he has given me the creeps.
He's scary.
I'd say that he's got a real temper. Like, you could see when he was talking about, she doesn't know me.
Yeah.
Like, the eye, the black eyes come, that
devil eyes, snake eyes.
Yeah, where they're not them anymore. It's just this anger. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of that with Adam. I hope poor Janelle is protected.
Yeah. I just feel like on social media, a lot of people will go Janelle, because they'll be like, oh, what? Just because you're an influencer and you care about money. It's like, well, we live in a different world now where women do want to make money. And I think it's a very valid question to know what your partner does and if he's fulfilled. Otherwise, they're just going to be bringing you down and mooching off you. And
can we not forget the cultural importance there as well? She's Malaysian Chinese, and most Asian cultures, especially the Chinese, what you do for a career is drummed into you as a baby how important that is. So for them, that's a cultural thing as well. Like, they don't understand people that go, I don't know, maybe I'll make a podcast. I don't know, maybe I'll get, crypto. Like, the guy's a walking red flag, and he's really amped up about being called out on it. That's
But I
bottom
also
line.
think when I do get that it's a cultural thing, 100%, and he's got to respect that. But I did find it quite ableist of her when she said, well, your career or what you do is an extension of who you are. Some people don't actually get the opportunity to do exactly what they want to do, and they have to feed their children, or they just haven't been brought up in a community where they were provided opportunities. So for that, I was a little bit like, oh, she's come from a really good family. She does have that Chinese cultural background where it is important to her. Old mate could have been brought up by a single mum. We don't know his story well. So I was a little bit, you know what, I'm fully on her side, but I was a little bit like, yeah, look, I don't think your career is an extension of you, is an extension of who you are. It can be if it's part of your personality, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to put food on the table.
And we know that. Her culturally, you know, even in the Chinese community, you can have the lowest paying job, but it's so important. Like,
to
it's
work.
Something that they,
I think that's what she kind of meant was like how you work is an extension of your personality.
Of who you are, exactly.
Of who you are. I got that because I believe that too, but not your job. Like, not everybody's as lucky as her to make a lot of money being an influencer. No. You know what I mean?
God, no. But she's worked her ass off by the look of things too. Because I went and had a look at her profile. She works very hard. Like, those videos would take hours to make. She's, you know, goes for it. I'd also just like to flag really quickly, in the future, we're going, because it's already started, the massive slut shaming of the older bride, who's only 41, who is a freak in the sheets by her.
How is that older?
Yeah, I know. She's the oldest of the
20.
group. Let's just call her the oldest of the group. But she's come in like, I'm the mother cub. I'm a freak in the sheets. I'm doing a lot of F-boys. I'm, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I think that obviously everyone knows. You watch this and she's stitched up already. Like, they've got her over 3 days probably saying 5 times, I'm a freak in the sheets. And then that's all they've shown of her saying. So we just think that's all she has to say. But let's not slut shame her for enjoying sex or being proud of herself. Not you and I. I'm talking like generally, because it's already started on social media that this woman is copying it. I think down the line we're going to see in the show there's going to probably be a lot of slut shaming for her because, you know, we know what the men are like and the women as well. So I really feel for that particular bride because she's going to be copying it as well from the public. And I just think, you know, we see such awful things on that show that the public then vilify. Like, let's vilify the right for the right reasons. You know, people who are abusive, let's hold them accountable. But people who enjoy sex and want to talk about sex and are really proud of themselves having sex, don't shame them and say that their son should be so ashamed of his own mother. You know, how embarrassing for him to go to school the next day. Like, I've been reading these things and it's like, there is no shame in saying that you enjoy sex or that you're good at sex or that her son now is going to be, you know, made fun of at school. Like, educate your children to not make fun of someone for saying something that is so empowering.
I think if it triggers something within you, especially as a woman viewer, men, sometimes I just can't. That's like a full-time job. As a woman viewer, if you're sitting there and you're feeling like slut shaming and wanting to say something, I think you got to feel where that's coming from. And I think that you've got to maybe look a little bit deeper and think that something within inside of you might be a little bit jealous that she can be so expressive and carefree. And instead you've just having it laced with what society has made you think is, well, if a woman's enjoying sex too much, she's a slut. That's made up. You've been told that. That's actually not the truth. So maybe unlearn that feeling and work out why you really are slut shaming this person, because it's probably not why you're thinking. I think a lot of the times when we're angry at something, it's because we're a little bit jealous because we wish we could do it. You're like,
We're
oh,
just
hang on.
conditioned to judge in such a negative, conservative way that it's like, well, question that. Question where that's
Question
coming from.
it. It's come from men telling us that.
Yeah, exactly. It comes from men, the patriarchy, and men and women, but of the patriarchal design that we are supposed to be ashamed of ourselves.
Yeah, internalized misogyny is real in all of us. And I had to do a lot of work growing up in a coasty town, competing, always, though, especially my mum's generation was very much their internalized misogyny is so wild. And they don't even know they're doing it. So it's nice to kind of call people out and go, why do you really feel like that? We could talk about this forever. One last thing I want to say on this before we go. Actually, two, if a man ever shushes you, leave. Shushing there's no comeback. That's ickless. There's no bouncing back from that, what Jessie did to Claire. And also, if a man says you're too much, generally that means he's not enough. So that's another reason to bugger off. That's my 2 cents worth.
And just lastly, I think Lyndall and Cam may be the cutest couple I've ever seen. And watch this space. I don't think there's ever going to be a breakup. Like, they are tight all already. Like, the way he, reacted to her telling him about the her condition. It was really beautiful. He was really worried because he's lost someone to the condition. But I think, if anything, that is great about MAFS is that they've hopefully given hope to so many people with cystic fibrosis that may not know that there's a new drug out there that gives decades of their life in front of them. So, woohoo!
Go MAFS 2023.
I'm just going to tell you quickly, Angie, about the first 3 eps that have gone on Survivor. Not 3. I'm just going to tell you about the first one, really. There was a woman on there. It's Heroes and Villains, by the way, this year, which is a great concept because, you really do root for the heroes. Of course, they're heroes. They're wonderful. They're great people. Oh, my God, their hearts are full of gold. Villains, you also kind of root for them because you got that in you and you're watching them undermine, and make decisions because they've been given license. Now, one of our favourite women in the whole world is Shani, Queen of Survivor. We're going to have her on the show because she's so fantastic and we just adore her. I've been watching her so I can let you know. This is her 3rd time a Survivor and she's bigger and better than ever before. She's on the Villains. And she's so good. Like, it's just going to be a joy to watch her, kind of play her game. I watched her really understanding by the 3rd go how Survivor works. Like, them wanting to get rid of one of the massively big players and her convincing them not to do it because of the down the line. Like, let's think about whether we can use him as a shield. And the newbies kind of going, oh, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, okay. So, it's wonderful to watch. There's a hero who is an animal activist and she's, I think, maybe climate, I'm not sure, but her name's Rogue. And
I like that.
I'd just like to play a bit of audio for you of what she said to the African-American player who was in our last season and is the daughter of 2-time winner Sandra from the States, who was also on the last season and was out before her own daughter. So she's very proud. So I'm just going to play you some audio of what Rogue said to the young Nina, who is on this season.
North Carolina, on the East Coast. So all the way on the other side. So because I live the hot you explain it like I'm an idiot, but thank you. Oh, gotcha. I work in the US at the time. Yeah. No. I'm more African American than you are. You need to understand that.
Nina has the best restraint I've ever seen. I mean, I can imagine a lot of African Americans have to have that restraint on a daily basis in America of white people who say just the dumbest shit. It reminds me of when Pauline Hanson said to the 4 Indigenous girls in an interview, well, I'm Indigenous because I was born in Australia, so I'm Indigenous.
Wait, so the white girl said to the African-American girl, I'm more African-American than you are. Oh, that's gross.
Because she was born in South Africa.
Oh,
and she lives in America sometimes.
It's giving Hilaria Baldwin vibes. I've lived
isn't
in
it?
Spain and I'm Spanish now. It's like,
I'm
shut
Spanish now.
the up.
And there's also
God,
a guy who
Ross.
said, he flies planes, small planes and helicopters, saves a lot of people's lives, and he's come quite close to death a few times. So she one-upped him and said, well, I think I've been closer to death than you have. I've been bitten on the ass by a lion. And those people, they just shut down the conversation, and you can just see everyone's internal eyes rolling really hard. And anyway, the very first episode also showed two massive players, Jackie, who is a return, she's a poker player, and King George. Everyone knows King George of Campbelltown, he's come back.
Yeah.
They went over a cube barrel, the both of them at the same time, head first into mud pits. She broke her collarbone. She's gone, immediately gone. He scraped his face and couldn't feel his legs once he got to hospital. They were worried that he'd broken but he insisted on coming back because he ended up not having anything broken. His face for the next episode is just covered in a scar from the top of his forehead down to the bridge of his nose. It's like a scab, and he's swollen. So you can't look at anything else. And all I could think of was, how dangerous is that particular challenge? You and I did I'm a Celebrity.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
that the first thing
thinking.
you thought of?
It's giving Jackie Lambie circa 2019 in I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here. Oh, shit.
It's all you can look
When
at
she
is
got
the
hit with the big boulder, and she had
ball, yeah.
an egg on her head that large, and she was just and her back was so sore, and she was just hobbling around. God love her. She looked like something from a movie.
We couldn't
She
stop
just
staring
hung
at
in
her,
there.
could we?
I know.
Well, she
I was like,
never
she
said
looks
no.
crook.
And we kept saying, I remember at the time, all of us just kept going, Jackie, call it. Call it.
Go home. You're miserable.
Go home. And
She's a battler,
why
Yvie. She's an Aussie battler.
Didn't we know about that?
She's a bloody Aussie battler.
Watching Survivor, it was there was a little bit of triggering for me, going,
Yeah.
oh my God, but Jackie's gone. Her Survivor journey is gone. It's over because there is a risk assessment not being, I believe, not being done properly on this particular show, that two people almost broke their backs immediately is so incredibly dangerous. You know, they say Survivor's real, and it is. We all know that. We see how badly bruised these people. But when you're getting to the point where you're throwing your contestants into a mud pit head first, why? That's all I want to know is who thought of this?
Pandemonium.
Who thought
People
of that
do anything
challenge?
for an adventure or to outdo themselves from last time or for a TV moment. I think that's just what it comes down to.
Yeah, but I want to know is the people who've been doing Survivor for that long, why? Who thought of that, of throwing people into a mud pit head first? And why did you not preempt that
themselves.
something really bad was going to happen? Because it did.
They don't give a shit. It means good television.
Now, speaking of TV, we're just going to stick with TV for a little bit longer because in 2 days' time, we have the premiere of season 3 of a lovely show that I absolutely am obsessed with called Space Invaders. Now, you know I love this show. I'm an actual fan of this show. You are the new host. Congratulations. Pop in the claps there, Sammy. So, congratulations, 10 episodes. You've worked your ass off on this show. We finally get to see the first episode comes out this Saturday. I have been lucky enough to score screeners to this, and I've watched the first episode. It's brilliant. Love this show, and you do such a great job.
Oh, thanks, girlfriend. Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed doing it. It's very long. It's still going. I started in August and we're in February now, and I'm still doing master interviews. So it was a long experience, but it is such a good show. It's different to anything I've done because it's It's like a mini documentary each episode, and I've always wanted to work on documentaries. I studied because I wanted to be a documentary filmmaker. So to be now kind of in front of it, but getting to watch the documentary as well with the camera crew and the people and, you know, Peter Walsh, the, you know, decluttering guru, and Cherie Barber is like a renovation queen, and then just watching people's lives change has been next level, because in that 3 to 5 days, you actually do see people's lives completely change. It is wild. So I can't recommend it enough. I loved doing it. I love seeing what makes people tick. I do think that as soon as you hear the word mess and clutter, you instantly think grub, and it comes with a sense of judgment. But generally people hold on to clutter because it's come from some kind of trauma, holding on to something because somebody's passed, not being able to get on top of life because, you know, they're just, or they're buying to fill a void in their life that they haven't been able to, you know, express or explore. So don't judge too hard, because everybody has a story. And in this show, you get to see why people do the things they do, which is very magical.
On that, just quickly, explain what the show is.
So the show is about, we go into people's homes across Sydney, and they have a lot of clutter. We're not allowed to use the word hoarder for legal reasons.
Well, they're not hoarders.
And then we've got Peter Walsh. You can look him up. He is a declutter guru. He's been doing it for years. He was actually Oprah Winfrey's decluttering guru, and he had a segment on her show, the Oprah Winfrey Show, for years, for about 10 years. And he kind of goes in and he gets down to the root of the problem. Why is it like this? How have you got here? And then from there, we take it back to the hall, and you kind of watch them go through an emotional journey of sorts of what they want to keep and why. And Peter lets you know what you should let go of and what you should keep. I kind of bring back to life the treasures and memories that you've had hidden underneath this clutter, or if they don't have anything that's, you know, of, you know, TV worthy, let's just say that, I'll upcycle something that's you normally throw out and get something new. It's like, well, hang on a minute, we can turn this into this. Yeah. It's really fun. And then obviously Cherie completely renovates their home, and it's just like, I don't know how she does it. She literally does it in 4 days, and I don't know how she does it. I've been waiting for my house to be renovated for a year, and Cherie does it in 4 days.
Can you get Cherie on your home?
She's so busy. I'm studying all her courses, actually. I'm enrolled in 3, so I'm going back to full-time study.
Oh, that's so good. That's
and I'll do it myself.
Great thing. Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, if you want something done, do it yourself. That's
I think a lot of us have to learn that lesson.
Or get Peter, Cherie and I to do it.
Well, this is their third season on this particular show, and every year it's in Sydney. Can you guys branch out a bit? I reckon you should maybe do a season in Melbourne, or maybe in Brisbane or someone. Either way, if you come down to Melbourne and do a season, that would be great because you'll be in Melbourne. But if they decide to do a season in Brisbane, then maybe you could pop your house in there. I mean, I could make a clutter for you up there, and
I think
pop you on there.
A lot of clutter that they could.
There you go.
I come from hoarding blood. So I've got that in me. If Peter saw my house right now, well, actually it's all in storage because I moved on Tuesday, he would actually be like, you're a sicko, you should be on the show. And I'd be like, guilty as charged.
Well, just watch this space. You never know what's going to happen.
Watch this Space Invaders.
It starts this Saturday night at 7:30. It'll be on every week. There's
Channel
10
9.
episodes. Channel 9. Can't wait for Space Invaders.
Me too.
There's a song called Space Invaders. It was actually one of my favourites in the 80s. And it goes like this. Space Invaders, Space Invaders, Space Invaders, Space Invaders. And then in the background there's this going on. Pew, 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 pew.
Pew, like Ross. Pew, pew.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Well, that's us for this week. We've just talked TV. And you know what? Nothing wrong with it because it's going to take up our lives for the next couple of months.
It's an episode on TV. We're not even mad about it.
Not even a little bit. Thanks for coming. Thanks for listening to our dulcet tones in your ear holes. If you want to get in touch with us, you know what to do. You go straight to Angelou and you do a poo. If you'd like to email us, you can either just click on our email, which will go straight to twogirls@novaentertainment.com.au, or you can actually type in those words. We think that you should have the day that you deserve.
Well, you've given me no space to like even slide in and say it at the same time. I don't even think I got to even make a sound during that exit.
Yeah,
so
I think
you know
you
what?
were
I'm not
miming.
saying it this
You
time.
were miming
Yvie.
to it.
Yvie can just say it.
I'd like to ask you one more thing before we go.
Nah, I'm done.
What has put the giddy in your up this week?
Oh, actually, I had something else, but I just changed it. Every time we get together, I have one written down and I come up with a new one in the moment, which I do love. What puts the up in my giddy is actually, I'm holding it in my hand right now. It's my emotional support water bottle. Frank Green, yes, I am a basic
It's an
bitch.
actual... Is
Yeah,
it
and it's
$150
lilac.
million flank green
Oh,
one?
it wasn't that expensive when I got it. It must have blown up a bit after
Oh, it's
it.
old, is it? That one?
Not that old, but it wasn't that expensive. It's expensive for a water bottle, but it's not like $400,000 hairs. But yeah.
Why do
this
you like
puts
that
the-
water bottle so much?
I just love water bottles, number one. But I love this because it keeps my water cool. It's a really pretty colour, so it provides me a little sense of like peace and clarity, like lavender vibes. And it cures my seasonal depression and my skin, my acne. No, it doesn't do any of that. I just love it. And I notice whenever I'm like feeling uncomfortable or just like overwhelmed, I go for it. I hold
Really?
it. I don't even drink out of it. I'm like this. Oh, yeah.
I remember when you did that to your phone on Gogglebox. We've got proof of that. You sexing your phone like that. Your new phone.
Sexing. Oh, because
you
it
were
was
like,
so sexy.
Oh, you're so sexy, mate. I love you so much. Anyway.
What puts the up in your giddy real quick?
You know, every morning when I wake up, I start
wake up.
thinking,
Yeah.
I know I'm going to be the man that wakes up next to you. I say that to my dogs every morning. Not every night. I'm going to wake up next to you. No,
Is that what puts you up in your giddy? She's
I think
just
that-
looking at you while you sing
yes,
that
it
song.
does. You know, yesterday
That's
I
a
woke
good one.
The day before yesterday, I woke up and I took my eye mask off and I looked and Audie was just lying there staring at me for who knows how long she'd been doing that. But God, it made me happy. That wasn't what I was going to say. Mine is, you know, it actually makes me smile and I get out of bed and I'm like, and I go over to my coffee machine, my first coffee. Oh, I have my routine coffee, my first coffee. I love the smell of it. I love that sound. I love everything about it. You know, the one that sound, because
Britney
I'm
Spears
stronger. Yeah.
Girl.
That's it. That's what
See,
gives
that's
me
a
the
good
up
one.
in my kitty.
Yours are really like, everybody can relate to them, I feel, because it's like you like a breeze and a coffee. That's pretty, that's beautiful.
Standard Joe, call me. I'm just an
No,
average
well, you're
Joe.
not. But I think a lot of people would be able to relate to it. And you know what? For that, I thank you, Yvie Jones, for being, again, the patron saint for average white girls, quite like myself.
I'm okay with that. You're very welcome. Thank you for thinking me.
Thanks for picking me. All right, well, that's enough out of us. We've talked your ears off. They could be bleeding. But thank you for tuning in. And we won't see you, but we'll talk to you. You'll listen to us next week. Have the day that you deserve. Love you. Bye.
Bye.